Good morning, everybody, and a massive good morning to you, Kirsty. Hello.
Good morning, Toby King. How are you today?
I'm good. I just had to deal with a child throwing up, which is always fun. So I'm just a little bit frazzled and a little bit not settled, but here we are.
Is the child okay?
The child's okay. I
Okay.
smell okay. The important thing.
My cat is howling outside the door because the door is closed and the cat will not accept a closed door. So that's why I'm wearing headphones, because otherwise all you'd be able to hear would be Cash howling, which nobody needs.
I've had Cash two mornings in a row, because obviously you posted the photo yesterday morning, right? I think that was yesterday.
That was hilarious. I was on a body doubling call with Samantha Garstin, and she was going to spend the body doubling hour doing a LinkedIn post. And I was like, oh, I don't even know what to put today. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to put, I've got nothing to say. Here's a picture of my cat. And I literally typed it while I was talking to her and went, there you go, I've done it. And it's had 4,000 impressions.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I'm going to take pictures of my cat now. That's a great idea.
Have you got a cat? I didn't know you had a cat.
Got a cat. She's called Marty, after Marty McFly.
I knew it would be.
Even though it's a girl, but I said we can have a cat, but it's going to be called Marty, regardless of gender, and it works. I'm short for Martina.
I had a cat called Dennis that turned out to be a girl, but I kept the name.
Dennis the Menace.
Yeah.
Cool. So, getting close.
I guess our big news is that we've sold it out.
Sold out. If you want to come, tough. You'll have to just watch it online. Which
do you know what's really
available are online, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's virtual tickets available, but I also, when I announced that it was sold out at the weekend, I also said if anybody had missed out and wanted to add themselves to a wait list, I had no doubt there would be people who at the last minute can't make it. And I've had two already. So who've messaged me to say, hey, I can't make it now. So I'm like, I'll switch you to a virtual ticket. Do you want me to sell your ticket to someone else, or are you happy to gift it to someone else? And I've had one of each, one sell, one gift. And so I'm going back to the people in the list and saying, would you like it? So yeah, it continues to be sold out, but it's like we go, one up, one down, one up, one down. So, But then that's bound to happen. There are going to be people at the last minute, and if I can reallocate those tickets, then I will do. It's very exciting, and I'm into the real nitty gritty of things now. Whereas your role's really ramping up into some. There's a lot of emails I've seen that I'm just like, oh, talk to Toby about that. Talk to Toby about that. I'm up to my ears in tote bags and name badges and things like that.
I'm knee deep in a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet that is growing and growing, and I've got some cool formulas in there. That's good. But like, if anyone asks me, it's like, what's this? I was like, refer to the spreadsheet. It is on the spreadsheet.
Everything is on the spreadsheet.
If it isn't on the spreadsheet, it's something I've forgotten. So therefore, we should be concerned. But so far, everything is on the spreadsheet, I think.
It's really exciting. So today I've got a call with Deborah Coxon from Menopause and the two panelists that are going to be doing the discussion, because they haven't met each other yet. So we're having a call today, straight after this, in fact, so that they can have a good chat and talk about how we want the conversation to be structured on the day, that sort of thing. So that'll be really nice. I know that you've been doing that with the other gold sponsors, haven't you? Sort of chatting through what we're going to do on the day, and I'm really excited about the conversations that we've got. In addition to the speakers, in addition to the storytellers, we've got 3 really cool organizations doing different stuff and coming at the discussion with a slightly different angle. And different is my goal here, isn't it? So
totally. So I've got the spreadsheet open in front of me. Let's just run through the agenda, and for one thing, let's just make sure everything that should be in there is in there. But let's see who we've got talking, what they're talking about, and let's give everyone watching a complete rundown of everything that's happening, because everything is now locked and loaded. It ain't going anywhere.
It is.
And Amy is joining
Hi,
us.
Amy.
Spoke to Amy yesterday. And
cool.
Got a bit of a preview of her storytelling session, and boy, oh boy, it's a good one. All the storytelling sessions, especially, everyone has put so much time and craft into these stories. There's going to be laughs, there's going to be tears, there's going to be shudders, there's going to be all sorts of stuff going on, and it's great. But we're not talking about storytellers. Shudders, yeah.
Jay?
I shudder just thinking about what Jay might be doing. I don't know exactly what he's doing, but
Jay has done a LinkedIn post this morning, and the picture on it is awesome. So if any of you do not follow Jay Unwin, please follow Jay Unwin. He is one of our speakers on the day, and we've just told him to do what he wants. So we have no idea. I think we've said this in one of our previous LinkedIn lives. Jay is he's our little live wire, and we have no idea what he's going to bring on the day.
I haven't seen the boat. Oh, okay, right. I've seen the boat. Let's just fire that up. So everyone, there
we go. I'll just hold it up on my phone. Jay is
nice.
More than welcome to do his talk in full corpse paint if he wants. It's entirely up to you, Jay. I think it would be hilarious if you did. So.
Okay, so apart from me emceeing the event and getting everybody on stage at the right time in the right place and all that kind of jazz, our opening keynote is from who?
It is from Ms. Kelly Swingler, the burnoutologist.
Awesome. Saw her book at the Geek Together, and that was a great bit. Like, is it the same talk, different talk? What kind of vibe we go
No. She never does the same one twice. It has the same title, which is also the title of her book, which is coming out literally a day or two after the conference. And I don't know if we can swear on LinkedIn Lives, but the book is called Burnout. And Kelly is, sadly, Kelly is an expert in burnout through personal experience, but also through the enormous amount of work that she's done since her own 2 burnouts, in working with others to help identify it, avoid it, kind of navigate their way through it, all of that sort of thing. So her own story is extremely powerful. Anybody who's ever seen her talk before will not fail to have been moved by that. But she's on a bit of a mission to kind of stamp it out, basically, because there are far too many of us, and particularly in HR, who are kind of sort of stumbling blindly into burnout without recognizing that that's the direction we're headed in. So, I'm obviously thrilled to bits that she's talking about such an important topic, but she always does it in a really engaging and I don't think entertaining is the right word. She's a damn good speaker, and it's fascinating, but it's not a barrel of laughs.
No, we're not starting with Emma Jamil style comedy at the beginning,
we are
which
not.
we'll talk about a little bit later.
We will indeed, yes.
Okay, so so opening the show, we've got Kelly Swingler, and then stumbling in after that, we have
stumbling in
yourself,
yes,
hosting the menopause panel, right?
Yes, indeed.
So, who are the panelists?
The panelists are Danny Clark. I should probably say it's Deborah Coxon, who is the founder of Menopause. She's the one of the main panelists. Then we've got Danny Clark, who works in the construction industry, and we have Rob Hubbard, who is oh my God, is he a quantity surveyor or a chartered surveyor? He's going to kill me for getting that wrong. But they are both, because the angle that we're coming from, I think we talked about this a little bit last time, the angle that we're coming from is around managers needing training in how to navigate menopause when they have team members who are going through it. So the angle of the discussion is it's not specifically for people experiencing menopause themselves. So we have got a couple of really experienced managers who have had to navigate this with people in their teams before. So that's the kind of angle of the conversation, because the training that Menopause provide is geared towards managers rather than geared towards menopausal women or perimenopausal women. So it's just a slightly different take on a conversation that isn't actually had enough right now. So,
which is crazy, since half the population go through it.
Well, yes.
Like, it's just, I think we've talked about that many a time, that's just nigh on stupid, really. But there we go.
Basically,
that's the world we live in, unfortunately. Oh, Jenny is here. Hello, Jenny. Jenny, also one of our Storyteller speakers as well.
Indeed.
Next up, we have Gary J. Griffith.
Gary J. Griffith. So Gary, I love that Gary, he describes himself as bringing a little vitamin G, which is really, really lovely. So I haven't met Gary in person before. He's based in Berlin, and he's flying over especially for the conference, which I'm super stoked about. And he is going to be talking about leadership skills, but post-pandemic, and how the kind of essential skills that our leaders need has changed since 2020 and the pandemic. So really interesting topic. And I've seen video footage of Gary speaking, and he's a really engaging speaker as well. So yeah, I'm really excited to see him too. I'm just going to keep saying I'm really excited to see that person too, because I genuinely am. I think I've said all along, what I wanted to do was create the kind of conference I want to go to, and I really want to go to this one. I want to see all of the talks. So
I'm very excited just to see everything. Like, having talked to some of the speakers, and talking of the next session, we have the Suzanne panel, who I've talked to a lot about that. So we've got Peter Hall. We also have someone else who they did confirm the second person from
Simon
Suzanne.
Noble.
Simon. So got Paul,
he's the CEO.
Simon. He's the CEO. Okay, so I shouldn't really forget him. We got Paul Simon, so that works. We've got that's how we're going to bill it, actually. That Paul Simon is actually going to be there. It's just Paul and Simon. And then we got Jen Long O'Hare as well.
Except it's Peter and Simon. So
it's Peter and Simon.
Paul. Yeah.
Sugar my halloumi. That's not the right. So we can't say Paul Simon is going in any stretch of the imagination.
Peter and Simon. Yes.
Peter and Simon. And Peter was the name I actually remembered, apparently. So we've got Peter, we've got Simon, and we've got Jen, and they're speaking about how to rock and roll a technology implementation, which I think we've all been there, right? You drop a piece of technology in an organization and no one wants to use it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think some of the, I thinking back to my HR career and the whole, well, I'm not using that. Like, literally, without even looking at it, I'm not using that. I like pen and paper. I'm going to continue to use pen and paper. You think, okay, then that's lovely. So yeah, I don't think I always had a huge amount of input from some of the tech companies that I worked with back in the day. And I think there's a big gap there in terms of, making sure that organizations get it right. And you obviously, you can't just dump it on someone and expect that they're going to work it all out and everybody's going to be completely on board with using it. So I think that's a really interesting discussion to kind of come at it from that perspective, rather than the organization or the HR team that are actually trying to implement it. So yeah, that should be fun. And I've met Peter and Simon, and they're both really, really lovely. I don't know Jen, but I do know the Suzanne guys, because and I'll be seeing them before, because I am doing the keynote at their user general meeting the week before my conference in the, what is it called now? Is it the London Stadium? It was the Olympic Stadium, but it's now West Ham's football ground.
Yeah, I think it's just called the London Stadium.
I think it's the London Stadium. Yeah, and apparently the room is overlooking the pitch,
nice.
Which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'll be meeting them in person for the first time the week before the conference, which will be rather nice. So, and
if I know you at all, you're a huge West Ham fan, so that'll be a great day for you.
I don't know. It's a bit lost on me, but
I think West Ham is lost on everybody, to be completely honest, considering it's actually in Stratford. But there we go. Then who have we got? We then have lunch. Look, I'm just literally going line by line in the spreadsheet.
It doesn't feel like a lot in the morning, but I think it probably is, isn't it? So you've got,
I think so. We've got a bit of
2 speeches, intro. Yeah, it's quite a lot.
Yeah, we've got a bit of networking time there in the morning. There is a morning break as well.
Cool.
So, yeah, 2 panels, 2 talks. And then we go for lunch. We come back after lunch. And we have, as you've dubbed her, the entertainment.
I have, but I've also dumped
Dubbed
I've
her?
also dubbed her the post-lunch slump fix, which I actually prefer.
The
post-lunch slump fix.
Post-lunch
because
slump
everybody
fix.
has
Right,
a post-lunch slump. It's like, my tummy's full. That was nice food. Nap. Emma's the anti-nap device.
Yeah. And Charlie is also
Hi,
Charlie, who's
Charlie.
just tuned in as well. Hey, Charlie. So we go from the entertainment, which I just have in on my spreadsheet is just skit, is what I have, skit.
Brilliant. Now,
Then
the name of her skit is Surviving HR. Like, she does, or then she does her TikToks, it's like Surviving HR, as in ARGH. That is her skit.
Very nice, very nice. So always entertaining. 5 minutes of post-lunch levity, and then we head into another person I spoke to yesterday, Kate Jenkinson, poet, writer, and just I can't tell you how funny our call yesterday was.
Really?
Yes, we have come. Well, I haven't, because I'm not a poet, but we have given some inspiration to a Victoria Warehouse themed poem, which Kate, I think, is going to write for the day.
Oh my God. So I love Kate. I haven't met Kate in person, but Kate is part of my ADHRD community, and so she's just lovely. I cannot wait to meet her in person. So she is going to be talking about what I wish I knew about neurodiversity when I worked in HR, which, as someone who was late diagnosed ADHD, I wish I'd known an awful lot more about it, not just for myself, but for the employees that I supported in my HR career. So Kate's an ex-HR professional. She's not an ex-professional. Jeez. My words are coming out back to front this morning. Kate's an ex-HR professional. She's also a PhD. She is Dr. Kate Jenkinson, which I didn't put on her little graphic, but I probably should have done, because I'm sure she worked damn hard for that PhD. But she also, as you said, she's a poet, and she organized the Poetry and Business Conference. So she's hugely entertaining, and really, really sweet. She's so sweet. She's just really, really nice. And I'm very much looking forward to what she's got to say on the day. And if we get a poem out of it as well, then that's blooming awesome. We could have an official, she could be our poet laureate for Evolving HR.
So the things, I need to talk to you about this, actually. The thing she told me she does poem summaries of conferences. I know, right?
How did I not know this?
That's genius. So we'll talk about that later. But I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah.
I know, right?
That's so cool.
And she said it, and I was like literally just dropped it on the end of our call, and I was like, oh wow, she should have led with that. That was awesome.
Yes.
Then we have a fireside chat with the folks from ULife, and we have Lauren joining us from ULife. What are we talking about with ULife?
With ULife, with Lauren is the Chief Marketing Officer at ULife, and she is going to just talk about how they're doing everything so differently. It's basically, what they've done is gamify health insurance and employee well-being, and so they liken themselves to Duolingo. So that's the title that we've gone for, which is gamifying well-being. So building the Duolingo of health insurance. So she's going to talk about the journey that they've been on and how they have taken what is traditionally quite a uninspiring and a little bit dull industry and made it fun. She did a lovely post the other day. They had a Bring Your Kids to Work day, and Lauren took her 2 kids into the office, and she was saying how her kids love the app. And I'm not very good at aging children, but I would say from the photo that she posted that they're probably about 7, 8, 9, that sort of age. But she said they love the ULife app. They find it because you can earn I don't know what they call them, like U coins or something for doing, like going for a walk or doing different healthy activities. And she said that the kids love that, but they found the workspace really inspiring because it's, they've done cool things with their workspace. It's sort of a la Google. There's a lot of pink and there's a lot of fun. And she said that they just settled down to do their schoolwork for the day because they found the environment conducive to that. And she was talking about workspaces and things like that. So yeah, when I had my initial call with Lauren, I was completely blown away by her passion and her enthusiasm for what they're doing. And she's been there for a while, and they've been on a heck of a journey. So I think that's going to be a really interesting conversation. You're talking to her today, aren't you? I think.
It's got moved till Thursday now. But
yes,
okay,
but it was the 5th. Okay, yeah, cool.
Ucoin, it is Ucoin. Is
it is Ucoin? I thought so. Yeah. Which I love that. That cool. Again, for people with ADHD, gamifying anything is a good idea. Yeah. So I would actually really like that. Oh, good. There's a cruise ship horn now going in the background. It's just pretend you can't hear that. It's always something.
We can't hear it our end.
You can't hear it. Okay, that's fine.
No. But now I want to hear it. Just like, it's time to start working now, everybody. So that's Lauren from ULive. And then we enter our storyteller session. So we have 8 storytellers. So hold on to your hats, because there are 8 people to talk about now.
Yeah.
We may change the order. So once I know all of the talks, we may change the order just to give a little bit of ebb and flow to some of the topics.
Yes, we don't want all the sad ones in a row.
No, so there are some that are sad, some that are sad for the same reasons, and we just need to make sure that we have ebb and flow. So we might just move some of these around, but let's just take them as I've got them in the order at the moment. We have Natalie.
Right.
What's Natalie talking about?
Natalie is talking about navigating the digital people profession, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know what she's covering in that. All I've asked them all for is their title. So yeah, I don't know, but I think I've said this before, because Natalie's joined us on one of these calls previously. She's flying over from Dubai for this. This just, again, I'm staggered by the distances that people are coming for this. So yeah, very, very chuffed that Natalie is coming over. And yeah, I like the digital piece. I think it's really nice to have that element in there, because it's such a huge part of our work now. So I'm interested to see what she's going to cover, what kind of angle she's going to go for there.
And actually, having her first after Lauren makes sense. We're talking a bit of tech with Lauren, then we can go straight into Natalie. I think that actually works quite nice. So Natalie, you're staying exactly where you are.
Natalie, you're first up on the storytelling.
And then someone who's tuning in live with us this morning, we have Amy talking about some stuff, which with Amy's, I don't want to give too much away, because there is the reveal, but if I was to summarize most of the talks, it's like, why do they do what they do? So there has been a moment in people's lives where they've decided, not necessarily in that moment either. There's been key moments in people's lives where something has happened and it's informed them probably much later in life to do so, to act in a different way. Some people, that moment happens and they then do something straight away. Some people, that moment happens and it's a couple of years until something changes. But I think it's really, I mean, don't want to go into any more about Amy's because I think we need I got lost for words when I was she said, and is it okay? I was like, is it okay? It's like I got literally zero feedback. I can't praise it hardly enough. So
Oh God, no pressure, Amy. If you're still listening, no pressure at all. But we're all expecting you to be outstanding.
It was rubbish. It was really bad. A lot of work to be done.
Oh no. I think everybody. I don't know. I look at. Have I spoken to every single one of them? Yes, I have. I've spoken to every single one of them, and I think they're all going to be brilliant.
Absolutely.
They're all going to be brilliant.
Then we've got someone from Amplify Your Impact, Emma Jamil's program. We've got Amy Bierman, who, I'll be honest with you, just one of the most naturally funny people I have ever seen stand up and talk. Amy has me in stitches. She's just been sending, so I'm helping her write her talk as part of the program, and she's just been sending me her ideas for jokes. I can't with jokes. Obviously, I can't even give you any clue. And there we go. We're relieving all the pressure from Amy. I've said it's rubbish. She said that's fine. No pressure.
Ignore him, Amy. You're going to be brilliant.
Amy Bierman is going to be hilarious. Also, a little bit sad, but also hilarious as well.
Also, I only noticed after I put it on LinkedIn that she's not wearing any clothes in the photograph she provided for me. She's just wearing medals from, I assume, running races and marathons and things like that. But she doesn't appear to have anything else on apart from her medals. And that alone makes me think she's awesome.
You have looked at that picture way closer than I have. I assumed.
Well, I had to move it around so that I could fit her into the oval and everything. And then I'm like, Amy, if you're listening, please let us know. Are you wearing anything apart from medals?
Must be some sort of running singlet or something underneath that. Or
I hope so, but it doesn't matter. Anything.
There's already a potential talk with nudity. I don't think we need another one. But
God,
more about that.
You've warned me about this. Okay, who's up next?
I think we've got James Brooke.
Right. Have you met with James yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. I have met with James. James is going. So what they do at Talent Predicts, it's like a skills assessment, sort of psychometric type assessment. And so his talk is about strengths-based development around sort of excellence in teams and that sort of thing. And again, I haven't seen the content of it. I just know, okay, there you go, Joe Bailey. It's true. Amy is just wearing medals.
I feel like Amy needs to be able to answer this question herself rather than like we're putting naked pictures of her. Well, no, she's not naked. She's wearing medals.
She's not naked. She's wearing medals. So yeah, James is going to be talking about skills-based assessment for teams. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I am doing the training for the Talent Predicts product in the new year so that I can be a user of it, I like to do that. I like to know what it is that people do. I like to sort of get my hands on things. If there's a tangible something I can get my hands on, then that's always good.
And this is what makes the Evolving HR app so great, right? Is that everyone that's on there, you get to know exactly what they're doing, why they do it, and all that kind of stuff. It isn't just a directory, an endless list of providers and consultants and fractionals. It is, who they are, you're making those recommendations.
And I recorded a video last week, which I've put on the homepage of the app, and I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but I recorded a little video just to say, here's how you get the most out of this app. Here's how you use it. And I did mention that I've met pretty much every single one of the people who's featured in there as a provider, and just talk about how it was a very values-based it's a very values-based app, full stop. Like the whole of Evolving is, I want decent individuals around me and decent individuals supporting the HR profession. So yeah, I've put that in there last week because, by the way, we've got nearly 1,400 users of the app now. It's gone a bit mad in the last few weeks, which was partly down to the Halloween webinar that we did last week and the number of people that read. We don't over 100 people registered for that. It was the first time that we've had over 100. But yeah, those webinars are proving to be absolutely brilliant in terms of value that they're creating for people. So loads of new users in the app there. So very exciting.
And the recording for those webinars is in the app as well, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah. I mean, you register if you want to watch it live and you can join in. And if you want to watch the recording, as you just sign in through the app and go to the latest news section, and they're all there, all the previous ones. So yeah.
Very nice.
Somebody actually messaged me the other day to say I was rewriting my CV because I want to apply for a new job. And I pulled up the webinar about crafting your CV and watched all of it and took all of their advice and have redone my CV. And I was like, awesome. That's exactly what it's for. So I was thrilled to bits. So
we've got more. That's awesome. And then you got another one. Is it this Thursday or is it next week?
It is this 7th. Yeah, this Thursday we're doing, and this is going to be a really interesting one as well. This one is articulating the value of HR, which, let's be honest, we're not that brilliant at as HR professionals. Like, we really should be involved in this because we're the people is not enough usually. So I've got, I've said this in my post about it. It's the first fully international panel that I've got. So I've got Tiffany Castagno, and you've met Tiffany, haven't you?
I have, yes.
When you went to the States, I've got Tiffany and Carol Fraser, who are both in the States. One Madison, Wisconsin, and one in Long Island. And then I've got Rachel Wilson. I'm going to pronounce the Rugelson, She's in Oslo. She's a Brit, married to a Norwegian, based in Oslo. So, and then me in Malta. So, proper international. Carol worked out between us, we've got over 100 years experience in HR. So, quite frankly, if we can't help you articulate the mission of HR better, then you're screwed, because that's, a century of experience should be able to do that. So that's this week. And then the second one in November is going to be, we're working on getting all the graphics sorted so that we can put that in the app. But that is going to be how to choose a coach for yourself.
Oh, nice. Yes. Very good.
Things that you need to think about when you're, trying to decide whether coaching's for you and who might be the right person to work with. So, not surprisingly, I have 3 coaches joining me on that one. So that will be the 21st of November, and we'll be announcing that soon.
Very nice, very nice.
So back to the conference.
Back to the conference. We've got Jenny in comments saying hello and saying that Amy is brilliant. And Joe confirming that Joe was in the room when the decision was made about the photo. So if there's anybody who's going to know, it's going to be Joe. Okay, good. We've bottomed out that story. And talking of Jenny is our next storyteller speaker who, great story. Just another...
Box of tissues.
I think for probably 4 to 5 out of these 8 talks, tissues are going to be needed.
Oh my gosh.
Jenny's been crafting her story over the past couple of weeks, and it's great. It's just great. And I think there are moments of sadness in the talks. Have moments of sadness. There are those moments of sadness, but they then are spun into such positive and lovely stories and life-affirming stories. So I think, there'll be tears, but there'll also be a huge amount of kind of warm feeling, I think, with these talks for sure. So we got Jenny, who is just awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Jenny again.
Jenny would be really cool. Then we have another person from Amplify Your Impact, which is Joe Bailey, who is in comments. Hello, Joe.
Hello, Joe.
I said Amy was funny. Joe is also very funny.
Is there just a group of comedians on the Amplify Your Impact program?
I'd say there are 2 comedians on the Amplify Your
Impact. And they're the 2 that are speaking here.
And they that was completely by accident. Both very different types of funny as well. But I think what Joe brings is just a varied background, I would say. That's all I'm going to say. There's some of the pictures that she's going to show. When I first met Joe, I would not have pictured those pictures.
It's not more nudity, is it?
It's not more nudity.
Okay,
no,
good, because I think we've probably got enough nudity for one
Joe
day.
has changed it in the past couple of days. I don't think there's nudity. There is face paint though. So we talked about face paint already today. There is face paint. I can tell you that. Or makeup. It might be calling it face paint might be insulting. I don't know. No, it's green. Okay. It's green. It's face paint. Then
on
we have
Josh.
Josh
Or in the pictures in the background.
In the pictures.
Okay, yeah.
Well, actually,
say,
Joe,
please don't wear green face paint all day.
Joe, let me know if you're planning on coming in face paint, or we could get a face painter in there and make it like a children's party if we really want to. We could have the evolving HR logo.
People would actually do that faces. If we had a face painter. People would actually get their faces painted.
Well,
let's do a quick poll. If we had a face painter, would you get your face painted at an HR conference? I just want to address the comment that Reem Osman has mentioned there, saying, not jealous at all that the conference is not on my side of the world. Get a virtual ticket, Reem. Seriously, you can either watch it live. We're going to live stream the whole event on the day, or if you can't do that, just watch the recordings of the talks, because they're all going to be available afterwards. So, you don't need to miss out on anything other than being in the room. You can still get all of the content and the hilarity, and no nudity.
Yeah. And Reem, based over in Bahrain, definitely should catch up with Natalie. I know Bahrain and the UAE aren't the same place. However, you're much closer than you are to the UK, so definitely worth connecting there.
More on the same side of the world than Manchester.
Yeah. A similar time zone rather than Manchester. And the climate is very different. Very, very different.
That's very true. Gosh.
Who else do we have? We got Joshua Carl. I spoke to Joshua Carl.
You've spoken to Joshua, haven't you?
Twice. Almost 3 times, I think. Yeah.
Gosh.
Again, I think just the lived experience of everything that he's gone through, and how that spun into positive action and all that kind of stuff is great. Just a great story, and I know they're called storyteller sessions, and I sound like a broken record, but another hugely emotional, impactful story. I can't wait to see him stand up on stage and talk. And then our last storyteller is Camilla Rogers, who I've not spoken to.
You've not spoken to Camilla?
No.
Camilla's lovely. So Camilla, I've got a title, which is I like this: How to Create the Career of Your Dreams Without Setting Your Life on Fire. That's all title. I know about it, but as a title, I'm going with that. And Camilla's lovely. She's really engaging, and yeah, I think she's going to be great as well. I'm pretty sure she's done some speaking before, so yeah, that will be a lovely one as well. So yeah, are you due to speak to her? Are you?
I haven't heard from her. I'm going to send her an email.
Do that.
I send all the storytellers an email. If you are a storyteller or a keynote speaker, let me know, because I'm going to be sending you emails. Don't worry.
I've got a horrible feeling that I thought of this morning. You sent me those draft emails last week for speakers and storytellers.
Yeah.
Was I supposed to send them out to them?
Not necessarily. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
I talk about it afterwards.
I just suddenly thought, I thought maybe he was just copying me. Anyway, yeah, moving on.
No, it's cool. And then we have 2 more speakers before we get drinks. The lovely Julie Turney. No, it's Jay first.
It's Jay. Julie's closing us out. Jay is before Julie, alphabetically as well. And Jay, well, you've spoken to Jay. I'm looking forward to meeting Jay in person. So Jay is my fellow metalhead, and we've had Zoom calls before and talk round in circles for hours about all the things that we're interested in. It's really weird. Like, he's actually met one of my best friends, Nadine, who is here at the conference with Metal for Good on the day, our charity. He met Nadine at Download Festival this year, but I didn't go. So it's really weird that I've got pictures of Jay with my friend Nadine, but I've never met him, and I introduced them. So that's all really bizarre. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to meeting Jay in person, and also really looking forward to seeing him speak, because I genuinely don't know what he has planned. It could be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I've had conversations with Jay, not about the content, but more about the production of what he's doing, which I think tells you everything you need to know about what you're about to see. Like, yes, I've strictly no pyrotechnics. I think we talked about that last time.
We did talk about that last time. Yeah.
So there won't be pyrotechnics, thankfully. So everyone's eyebrows and hair will be safe. But there will be the removal of clothes. So much so that he's had to have a very specific microphone request. That was where it came about. It's like, I need this type of microphone. Is that possible? And the good news is we've managed to sort him out with the right microphone that he needs to enable.
And how did you know what the right type of microphone was, Toby Kang? Would that be because you've also done a talk before where the removal of clothes was involved?
Yes. Yeah, me and Jay are kindred spirits that, if you're going to...
basically. Yeah.
Well, it gets a round of applause, apparently, both. I've actually done it twice as well. That's the other.
Can I just say here that well, Toby, do you want to explain that there was no nudity?
No, I had clothes under my clothes, so I was like, it was like I was a superhero and nothing about this screams superhero. So you can imagine it was to do with professional wrestling.
Yes,
more than I definitely have more professional wrestler vibes than I do superhero vibes. That's for sure. But I DM me if you want to see the video. Like, it's out there. It's on Disrupt HR. Actually,
it is on Disrupt HR, and it's absolutely hilarious, and everybody should watch it today.
I did that, and I thought, it'll be fine. It'll come and go, and it is literally the video that hangs around my neck that I carry around. So people go, oh yeah, you're the guy who did the thing. Yes. So I'm glad that Jay is kind of going to probably take the baton, and he can now be the person who took their shirt off on stage.
Which one is it, Toby? Not that I'm looking at it or anything, but I
can't. You know what? I can't remember.
Oh, there's a surprise.
Cambridge, Disrupt HR, Cambridge. I think.
Okay, you've done a few, and there's lots of different titles. We've got SMEs, the face of HR's future. And...
No, I stay dressed in that one.
Okay.
What was it called? I think it's called like Body Slams, Suplexes, and Corporate Learning. That's what it was called.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay. Body Slams. Right. I can't find it. If you find it, you can pop it.
Now I'm looking. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I'd be the only person who's talked about that, but apparently, if you type in Body Slam Suplexes, you get lots of wrestling. I just got lots of wrestling content coming up. It's like, this isn't what I want. I want my disrupt talk. Anyway, I will.
A quick note for our listeners: we don't plan these conversations in advance in case anybody has any doubts.
Really?
Winging it is the name of the game. No, I just enjoy just chatting.
You were talking at the same event. No. Oh, it wasn't Cambridge.
No, I did Milton Keynes. You'd already done your stripping one because Bill told me about that before I signed up and did it. I already knew that there was this guy called Toby who'd stripped off to wrestling gear.
Oh, that means I've talked to Cambridge twice. That might be the confusion. Anyway, we're not going to sit here.
While you continue finding that, I will talk about
Googling myself.
The absolutely wonderful Julie Turney, who is our closing keynote on the day. And I know I've talked about Julie before, and I'm going to mention yet again that Julie is coming all the way over from Barbados, for crying out loud, to speak at this conference, which I am, over the moon about. So Julie, I'd be surprised if most of you don't follow her on LinkedIn, because she's got like 70,000 followers on LinkedIn. She's like the HR influencer. So Julie's closing keynote is going to be about the journey from surviving to thriving in HR. So Julie is yet another person who has experienced burnout in their HR career. And she does a lot of work now with other HR professionals, trying to make life better for them, trying to help them avoid not just burnout, but some of the other challenges and issues that we face in HR. She's done a TED talk before. I should say that actually, Kelly's done a TED talk, Kate Jenkinson's done a TED talk, Julie's done a TED talk. We really are just absolutely thrilled to bits with the quality of the speakers that we've got. I need some more expressions and adjectives because I am overusing thrilled to bits a lot at the moment. So if anybody's got any other expressions that I can use instead of thrilled to bits, but I think it's really hard for me to overstate how excited and grateful and humbled I am by all of the people who have dived into this head first and said that they want to be part of it. The fact that we've sold it out with 3.5 weeks to go blows my mind. We've got, we've sold over 20 virtual tickets already as well. So there's people that want to see it, even though they can't be there. And it's really quite humbling to have been able to put something together that people are genuinely looking forward to. And it's as well, I know it's 3 weeks today, but I leave for the UK next Thursday.
Oh, wow.
So I come over on the 14th. So for me, like the major working time that I have to finalize everything is between now and next Thursday. Unfortunately, it's Jules' birthday on Sunday, and Nadine, as of Metal for Good, Nadine and her husband are flying over here on Thursday, and we've got a whole weekend of celebrations for Jules' birthday. So I basically have about 3 days to get everything sorted before I leave for the UK. But yeah. It's what you call a squeaky bum moment, really. Like,
so let's just quickly, before we wrap
before I
up,
waffle on again,
let's just go through kind of the volunteers and other players that are helping. So
okay,
you mentioned there Nadine and Metal for Good as the charity partner, which is just like completely on brand and absolutely the right thing to be doing. But who else do we have that is kind of helping out on the day, doing bits and indeed bobs?
Well, Emily. On your side, I think Emily's helping out, isn't she?
Emily is going to be in charge of the live stream. So,
okay, so Emily will be there.
Yeah.
Toby's business partner. You didn't mention that you're emceeing, but I think we've mentioned that before. My best friend, Carla Fitzgerald, is flying over from Dublin with her partner, Vincent, and they are both volunteering on the day. Carla's going to do a bit of social media for me because she is a content creator and she's good at that stuff. But they're also, so Vincent and Jules will be sort of helping welcome everybody in. And then I think that's it, because I probably should have had more, but I've only got a couple of people.
Who else?
I do have a number of people who have volunteered to help out if it's needed, and I think it probably will be needed. So I'm gonna, my goal today is conference logistics. So it's all like, how am I going to check everyone in? Do I have enough people to do all of that sort of thing?
Cool. And although those people are in column H in our spreadsheet, just so
are they now? Column H.
Yeah. So it's the title called event production, and then just says volunteers, and then the names under that are blank.
We also have the AV team, obviously, and
we do. Martin Freeman is one of them. Not that one, as I keep saying. And someone I know particularly well, my father, will be.
I love it. I just love that your dad is it's his company doing the AV. I mean, it's brilliant.
Yeah. So I've worked with him a couple of times on stuff, and he's always keen to embarrass me, annoyingly. So he helped film when I was employed for that employer. He came and did kind of like vox pops of all the employees. And he bought me lunch, but he just went, "Hey, go Toby, I got you lunch." Just like, and they went, "Oh, Toby not buy his own lunch?" Yeah, right in front of everyone I work with, and I did not live that down.
Exactly what my dad would do. Exactly what my dad would do.
But he knew it. Like, he was being one, he was being nice, but two, he also absolutely 100% knew what he was doing to me. But there we go.
So I'll tell you what my dad has done. So luckily for me, my parents are over. My parents are in France. They're over in the UK right before the conference because my dad's 80th birthday dinner is on the Saturday. And luckily, they're going back to France on Monday, the 25th. Otherwise, I know he would be embarrassing me. I'm 51 years old and my dad can still, he would still go out of his way to try and embarrass me like a teenager. So long story short, when I was a child, my nickname was Pongo. I did not smell. I feel like I have to say this. My dad saw it written on a wall somewhere, a station or something, thought it was funny and started calling me Pongo. And the very first time I went to Brownies when I was 7, you had to show them that you had your name in your brownie hat. And so I take my hat off to show them, and it says Pongo Bags. My dad has written Pongo Bags in my brownie hat. I still have the brownie hat. You can still read that it says Pongo Bags. Anyway, when I started work, my dad would ring reception and ask to speak to Pongo Bags. And I think he did it in the first 3 or 4 jobs that I worked in. And then people would invariably go, "Oh, we don't have a Pongo." And then he'd go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I mean Kirsty Bags." And then, of course, they'd ask. And so the first 3 or 4 companies I worked in, everybody knew my nickname was Pongo.
Why do you get the worst nickname? So you've got Pongo and Krusty. Like,
Krusty is not a nickname. That's a mispronunciation that Kelly Swingler has adopted as a nickname. But no, I mean,
wow.
I was Pongo to the extent that most of my school friends' parents don't know me as Kirsty. I have been mentioned in wedding speeches by father of the bride as her friend Pongo from school.
And what better way to make sure
cards addressed to Pongo?
What better way to make sure that nickname goes no further than live streaming it to all your followers on LinkedIn who are going to see you in person in 3 weeks?
It doesn't bother me. It's been my name since I was 7, but nobody from the age of about 18 onwards has ever called me it. So it's like, that was my school nickname. Like my dad still calls me Pongy now. He sends me emails.
It's just
saying,
Pongy.
"Hey, Pong,
now it's not even Pongo, it's Pongy.
Pong thing, Pong, whatever. It is. That's just part of me. The Krusty thing was up there with multiple mispronunciations of the name Kirsty, usually in America. So I've had Castro, which was one of my favorites.
As in Fidel?
Yes.
That's not even close.
At the Cheesecake Factory in Houston, waiting for a table. They were like, "Table for Castro, table for Castro." It was me. Yep. So I've had Cassidy.
I imagine you get Christy quite a lot.
I get Christy all the time, more than I get my actual name. Krusty I did get once, which was hilarious. And that when it was me telling Sam Kelly and Michelle, we were in the cab going to the Madonna concert in Austin, and I was like, "Oh yeah, somebody called me Krusty once," and they just lost it, and then it's kind of stuck, and now they call me Krusty Bags. I mean, honestly, I'm unembarrassable when it comes to my name, but my friend that came to stay last week bought me a T-shirt, and it says Ali McCall Gallagher, and I can't remember the other one, the newsreader. Anyway, it's a Kirsty T-shirt.
Kirsty Walks? Is it?
I think it might be her. Yeah. And so I've now got a Kirsty T-shirt, which I'm pretty chuffed with.
I just get Tony all the time.
Hey, Tony. My autocorrect wants to change you to Tony every time I send you a message. We've gone slightly off-piste here.
I think it's time to go from
I think it probably is,
Tony and Pongo, your hosts and organisers for the Evolving HR conference. Tony and Pongo look very much forward to seeing you all in a couple of weeks.
Tony and Pongo.
It sounds like a kids' TV show, doesn't it?
It does.
Tony and Pongo.
Oh, Jess, thank you so much. I may well message you actually because I may well need an extra pair of hands. But
awesome! Thank you.
That's really kind of you.
Yeah, let's get out. This is our last
It's our last one of these. Yeah.
Maybe we do a post-event live stream as well, just to recap as well, just to say.
Yeah, we'll need to give it a few days before we do that.
I'm thinking weeks, like maybe 2025. But just to echo what Kay said, thank you to all of our speakers and all of our panelists who have volunteered their time and expertise for the day, all the volunteers, everybody's helping out in the day. You're making it it's going to be awesome. And then everybody who's bought tickets and is coming along to see everything that we're doing.
And the sponsors who've actually made it possible.
Yeah, without them, we literally wouldn't be here. We'd have jacked this in about 3 months ago.
Sitting in a bus stop.
Yeah. Just doing a small event to 10 people.
Yeah.
Right. So Tuesday, the 26th in Manchester, Victoria Warehouse. Be there or be square. And we'll love you and leave you to your Tuesday days. Goodbye, everybody.
See you in a few weeks.